Hey champs, welcome back to the Yoga Biz Champ podcast with myself, Michael J. And this episode is, I'm sitting here today just talking into my phone because there are some weeks where a reoccurring theme comes up when I'm talking to my studio owners. And I'm working with a whole bunch of new clients to me, studio owners that have existing studios. And a common theme is coming up with the studio owner that's doing all the pieces, everything. So that theme has been in my one-on-ones with studio owners and in group coaching. So I thought, okay, well, maybe this is a time to talk about it and show my system for helping going to the next level. Now, if you're a studio owner that's got managers and staff working for you already, this might not be the episode, but you also may get a little bit of structure out of it that might help you get out of some of the jobs that you're doing. So stay tuned. So if you are a yoga studio owner listening to this right now and you feel like you're doing absolutely everything in your business, this is the episode for you. So I'm talking about the owner who teaches the classes, answers the emails, processes refunds, runs the Instagram account, responds to Google reviews, schedules the teachers, posts the marketing, fixes the website, and somehow still tries to be the visionary leader of the studio. It's a lot, right? Here's the truth. Most yoga studio owners know they need help, but they're afraid to take the next step and hire someone because it's a risk. They worry about the money. They worry about trusting someone. They worry that no one will do it as well as they will. And sometimes they simply don't even know what they would hire someone to do. So in this episode, I'm going to walk you through a process that I use with all of my clients that are in this position and in my coaching calls. And this, I feel, kind of solves that problem. And it's a simple but powerful exercise that helps yoga studios understand what they're actually doing all day, what they should keep doing, and what they should stop doing, and what someone else should be hired to do. And the best part is it removes the guesswork from hiring. So the problem, the owner who does everything. Let's start with a situation I see all the time. A yoga studio owner opens their studio, and in the early days, they do everything. We're talking community yoga studio here, right? We're not talking about the big franchise that's, a system already. We're talking about, the real grassroots studio owner. And honestly, that's normal. When a studio is brand new, it's lean. You're scrappy, you're building the community, you're wearing every hat. But what happens is the business grows and the owner never really changes their role. So now they're still doing all the same things, but their business is bigger. More students, more emails, more scheduling, more marketing, more problems to solve. So suddenly the studio owner feels overwhelmed. They're working nonstop. They feel like the business is stuck. And that's usually the moment when they start thinking, I probably need help. But then they freeze because they don't know what the job actually is. So this is the exercise I'm going to challenge you to do. If any of those things that I've spoken about resonate with you, or you are that person or part of that person, then this is the process, right? It's a 1-week documentation exercise. And so this is the first thing I have studio owners do. For 1 week, they document everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Every little task. Responding to an email, processing a refund, posting on Instagram, updating the class schedule, sending the newsletter, answering a teacher question, running payroll, fixing something on the website, responding to a DM, all of it. Every single thing that touches the business, right? You document that down and find a system that works for you. It could be a pen on paper. I don't have a pen or paper anywhere near my desk anymore. It goes right into my project board. But in this process, you could be doing columns on a piece of paper if that's your system. Find something that works for you. But most of my studio owners, I have them do it in a spreadsheet, right? And you just make sure you can access that from your phone, computer, everywhere. So everything that touches the business, you document. And if you already have help, maybe a front desk person or a manager, I also have those people document their work as well, right? Those are all the pieces. This part's really important because most studio owners dramatically underestimate how many things they're actually doing. And if I think about my business coach taught me project management as far as every task has got lots of subtasks, right? It's not just update the website. It's create the image in Canva, download, it's get the wording, it's all these little pieces to do that thing, right? So it's all the tasks that need documenting. Break down the tasks. And when you write it down, it becomes very clear. Sometimes we end up with a list of 100 plus tasks in a week, and that's when the light bulb starts to go on.
Hey champs, I want to tell you about a platform I genuinely believe in, Offering Tree. Offering Tree is built for community studios like yours, the ones who are in it to spread yoga and build something sustainable, not just scale at all costs. And they stand behind you every step of the way. Their support is unlike anything else in this space. When you email them, a real person responds, someone who knows your name and your business. Studio plans include free data migration, one-on-one onboarding, live office hours, twice monthly coaching calls, and an active community of business owners who are on the same path. This is what holistic support actually looks like. Yoga Biz Champ listeners get 50% off the first 3 months. Hit the link in my show notes.
So then once you've done that, that's a whole process for a week, right? But make it easy for yourself. Once you've done that, organize the work into buckets, right? So this is the next step to organizing everything. You can do this in your spreadsheet. You can do it on the paper. You can do it on sticky notes on a wall if you like. But the goal is to categorize the work into buckets. Typically, the buckets might look something like this, or the columns: marketing, administration, customer service, operations, finance, teacher management, community building. Should I do those again? Just in case you've got your pen. Marketing, administration, customer service, operations, finance, teacher management, community building. All right. Choose your own buckets, of course. So every single task from the week gets sorted into one of these buckets. And then we start seeing something interesting. We're not just looking at random tasks anymore. We're looking at functions inside the business. And this is exactly how real companies think about staffing. So the owner role clarity exercise is kind of the next thing once you've done those buckets. By the way, I also, if it's on paper, you can just get a bunch of color markers or highlighters, and you can even just highlight into the buckets. But then I would put them into a spreadsheet, honestly, just so you can really see it clearly. So then with the owner role clarity, this is kind of the next exercise with this, and it's kind of the most important part. Once everything is categorized, I ask the studio owner to look at that list and ask 3 questions. First question: what are the things what are the things that I absolutely love doing? Those things that light you up, the things you're excited about, the things that make you feel like you're a leader in your business and you're confident. For most yoga studio owners, that tends to be things like, this may not be you, but teaching, building community, leading events, creating vision, marketing ideas, and connecting with students. So those are usually the things that should stay with the owner, if that's what lights you up. And the second question is, what are the things I'm really good at and that move the business forward? Maybe you're excellent at marketing. Maybe you've got great marketing strategy. Maybe that's natural to you. Maybe you're great at partnerships. Maybe you're amazing at designing the student experience. Those are the areas where, you've heard me say this before, triple down. Owners should triple down on those things that light you up, the things that move the business forward, the things that you're naturally good at and enjoy, right? And then the third question is, what are the things I dread doing? The things that slow you down, the blocks, the things that drain your energy, the things that sit on your to-do list for days, things like refund processing, admin emails, website updates, watching the client journey of the intro offers, spreadsheet work, data entry, scheduling logistics. Those are the things, whatever those things are on the list, that don't light you up and that are your blocks or you can't get to, because you know all the pieces need getting done, right? Whether you can get to it or not, we still have to get all those things need to get done. But those are the things that you should start moving off your plate, right? So now that's kind of the 3-part process for putting that all together. And then the 4th part is create the real job description. Now here's the magic. Once we identify what you, the owner, should keep doing and what you should stop doing, the list of remaining tasks becomes the job description. Not some generic job description pulled off the internet, a real job description based on your actual business. You've got that list of tasks, right? So what emerges is a role like studio administrator, assistant manager, operations coordinator, team lead, someone who handles the operation pieces that keep the studio running smoothly. That could be email responses, scheduling, responding to texts, systems, customer support, administrative tasks. That person frees you, the owner, up to focus on leadership and growth. And this is where studios start to move to the next level. You have heard on this podcast, I bring on rocking, inspiring yoga studio owners that have mostly figured it all out, right? And that's not to make you feel less than, that's to make you learn from. But if you listen back to, a lot of people binge this podcast, if you listen back to some of the episodes or most of the episodes of studio owners, there's going to be one thing in common, right? They have help and they have systems. They're not doing it all by themselves. May have started that way. Now, the other thing, so you can create a job description from that. I think that makes sense, right? You could even put all those tasks into ChatGPT and say, hey, create me a job description from this, honestly. But I also want to emphasize not everything is a job. And this is where I feel like people get really plugged down with, right? Not everything is a job. It doesn't have to be a paid employee. Not everything really deserves a full hire. Sometimes studio owners look at that list and think they need a staff member, but actually what they need is a few outsourced tasks. These are projects. For example, a graphic designer could go to Fiverr. A couple of websites, Fiverr, Fiverr, and the other one is Upwork, right? So you could go to graphic design, you could go to Fiverr. For website updates, you could go to Upwork. So newsletter formatting could be outsourced. Data entry tasks could be delegated remotely. These are projects or tasks, not necessarily ongoing roles. So sometimes the first step towards getting help is simply outsourcing small things, right? It could be, this project is updating my website. Boom and done, right? It's a one-time kind of thing. Or you could find someone that will keep the updates, right? But that can free up hours every week so you, the owner, can focus on the big picture stuff. And again, those things that light you up and drive the business.
Hey champs, I want to spotlight our podcast sponsor and someone I consider both a friend and a trusted expert, Mitch McGinley from Boutique Fitness Brokers. He's been on my podcast multiple times. He's a former yoga studio owner just like us. Mitch and his wife successfully sold their studio just like I did. and now he helps others do the same. So if you've heard my conversation with Jill Agonias on this podcast, she sold her studio for well over asking price thanks to Mitch's guidance. Whether you're thinking about selling your yoga studio for top dollar or you're looking to buy an existing studio, and let me tell you, that can be a great head start instead of building from scratch. Mitch is your go-to guy, seriously. He understands the ins and outs of the yoga industry, from valuation to finding the right buyer or seller. Plus, he's been right where you are, so he gets it. I'm always talking about building a profitable business that can be sold or carried on. My former studio is in its 22nd year now, and it's under its third owner, and I consider that a legacy. So if you want to explore your options for buying or selling, head over to yogabizchamp.link/BFB to book a no obligation chat with Mitch himself. And trust me, it's never too early to start planning for your yoga studio's future success. Again, that's yogabizchamp.link/BFB.
Forward. Now, I want to say something really important about hiring. Every position in your yoga studio should help drive the business forward. Hiring should not just add a cost. Right? I say this all the time. It should create capacity to improve the student experience, market the studio better, run more events, grow memberships, build community. So in other words, every hire should eventually help the studio make more money, right? A front desk person isn't just there to smile and greet, right? They should be trained to have the conversations with the students about retaining them, right? There's an expectation. Same with hiring a business coach like me. That's not just, you're not just throwing money away. It's to help fast track getting where you want to get to. So again, every hire should eventually help the studio make more money. Not immediately necessarily, but over time. If hiring someone frees up the owner to grow the business, that's an investment, not an expense. And the real shift happens when studios do this exercise. Something shifts. They start seeing themselves as the overworked operator. They start seeing themselves as the leader of a business. And that mindset shift is huge because a yoga studio is not just a place where classes happen. It's a business. And businesses grow when the right people are doing the right work. So if you're listening to this episode and you feel like you're doing everything in your yoga studio, stay with the exercise. Do it for 1 week. Document everything. Categorize the work. Identify what you love. Identify what drains you. And then build the roles around that. That's the foundation for hiring the right help and taking your studio to the next level. And if you're a yoga studio owner who is in that stage right now, where you're doing everything and you're trying to figure out how to grow the business without burning out, that's exactly the kind of work I help studio owners with inside my coaching programs. Whether you're just getting your yoga studio starting or you're ready to grow and build a real team around you, you can book a free strategy call with me at yogabizchamp.com/book. We'll look at your studio, your numbers, your systems, and the next steps that will actually move the business forward. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please make sure you subscribe to this podcast. And I say this now and then, but please give us a rating. If you got any value out of any of this podcast, rating us, giving a review really means the world for us. So thanks for listening, champs, and I'll see you again on the next episode. Thanks for tuning in, champs. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and leave a review. It really helps me out a lot. And if you're ready to open your own studio or grow your current one, visit yogabizchamp.link/podlink. Again, that's yogabizchamp.link
yogabiz.com/pod link to book your free strategy call with me and explore my Starter Studio and Grower Studio packages. And you'll also get access to all of my free Yoga Biz Champ resources there. And you can also check out the video content on YouTube for more insights and follow me on all social media platforms at Yoga Biz Champ. See you next time.